What is up, guys? In today's video we're going to be spectating random players in Fortnite Zero Build ranked mode, and I am currently Unreal rank, so this is going to be a high ranked lobby. With how ranked works though, Diamond onward can match Unreal, and so, or maybe Diamond 3 onward can match Unreal. Either way, you get Champion, Elite, and Unreal players a lot in the same lobby. It's not like everybody is Unreal, especially in solos. You see this game started with 82 players, and I waited 6 minutes for this game to start in queue. Let me know if you guys do enjoy watching this video. Nonetheless, we should hopefully get to spectate some pretty solid players, but also you never really know because Zero Build ranked mode tends to play out very, very passively. And I've had a decent amount of requests for me to make these videos in ranked mode, so I'm interested to see what you guys think. Personally, I feel like one of the main kind of things that makes these videos really helpful to people is that you just see a variety of players and a variety of skill levels, and you could see a lot of players that make mistakes that you might be making yourself that you don't really realize are mistakes, you know? Whereas like if everybody's just very good, then like sure, you can watch someone play a fight well, but I feel like some of those mistakes are the more beneficial things to learn from. And I also think with how Zero Build ranked is, it plays out very differently than public matches. Like I honestly think Zero Build ranked or Zero Build competitive and Zero Build pubs might as well be two different games with how differently it can play out. And with Zero Build ranked typically having a very low player count, that kind of signifies to me that like a lot of people aren't necessarily interested or really concerned about that stuff, because if they were, it would have a higher player count. So let me know what you guys think. We're going to be on board with Rip Ring here. Got the Canadian ski skin, and I believe he was champion, it said in the like match recap thing. Got a pump and a burst. Getting these chests here is kind of stressful. I don't know if there's anybody else that landed here, to be honest. I don't think there necessarily was. There probably is somewhere, but like it didn't seem like this POI was like overly packed when I was landing. He's gonna continue looting. There's a slurp truck here, but he's already full health, and the Medusa NPC does sell shockwaves, so that's great. He's gonna probably fizz shock towards Medusa, I would guess. Or it's just fizz shocking in general. All right. Getting this POI to yourself, though, is pretty crazy. Like, if you just wanted to get a solid game, placement is huge in ranked mode. When I was getting close to Unreal, I had a game where we had 9 kills as a duo, and we got, like, 14th place. Ended up losing 2%. Which is crazy to me. Okay, so he didn't buy shockwaves from Medusa. I think that's a mistake, honestly. Not having any mobility at all when you could have had guaranteed full shocks, I think is bad. But anyways, like I was saying, we lost 2% on a game with 9 elims in 14th place. And with ranked mode, like placement matters, obviously. And kills you get early game don't matter as much as kills you get late game. I agree with that, but I still just think that you should at least stay neutral at that point and not lose 2%. But that's Fortnite ranked mode. And you see, and this is another good example of ranked Fortnite. He gets out of the car to fight someone. That person just steals their car and immediately leaves. And then, yeah, GG. So they can't really do anything about that. If they had shockwaves, they maybe could have like chased with the shockwaves, but and like maybe like shockwaved and then did the pickaxe trick to them, but they didn't end up getting shockwaves from Medusa, so their car getting stolen is GG's. What I was gonna say is if you wanted to play more for late game, getting fencing unconned to yourself is pretty crazy, because you could loot that entire POI, get shockwaves from Medusa, and then go about your day from there. And I think that at least placing endgame was like very important for ranked at the high levels. He's gonna get timing here. He should at least. These two people are fighting. One's all the way across here, so this is kind of bad. Even if he kills this person, that other sniper is gonna be a problem. Person's using the Icarus wing, so they should be a free elim. But okay, the sniper pushed up. Okay, they get that kill, which is good. But now they're fighting that sniper, and they have no mobility to push them. They got body there, but imagine if they got like decent damage and they had shockwaves. They could shockwave on that, hit some burst shots as they get there, and then finish with a pump. But now this fight is just going to be pretty stagnant, I think, unless that player just leaves. If that other player is down to leave, that's good. Because the same thing that just happened to the player that he eliminated could end up happening to him here, where like he gets too invested in this fight and then he's just an easy beam for somebody else. Players fishing, they might be desperate for heals. But it's just hard for him to like get in on this. He's gonna use the fizz and then try to like push with that, I would assume. This person's gonna get in that car and leave, I think. And a shield bubble it. All right, GG's. This is probably gonna go nowhere now. I think if you're this Canadian ski skin, you just cut your losses and go about your day. They could buy a sniper here from this NPC, and that's what they're gonna do. They really wanted the sniper. There were bunkers back there on that body as well, and if you do want to like play more for in-game and more structured, then having those bunkers is essential. If you want to play more aggro, you can definitely get by without them, and maybe play to like capitalize on other players' bunkers in the end game. But with a lot of things being vaulted, I personally would definitely want to carry shockwaves, bunkers, heals, and then probably a gatekeeper shotgun and a thunderburst SMG or a warforged AR in ranked mode. So he's just ratting in this roof, so I'm gonna spectate somebody else. That's part of ranked, especially solos, is it can be very campy, and he's camping that NPC there, I think, because it sells snipers, and he assumes that more people are going to be rotating to that NPC mid-game. So he's going to wait at that NPC, try to hit a fat shotgun shot, and then clean up that kill from there. And, you know, it makes sense as a way to play the game, but it's not very interesting to watch for the video. So we're going to go ahead and spectate somebody else. And that's kind of what I was saying about the pacing of zero builds. Ranked being a bit different, like you get typically some fighting early game and then not as much fighting mid game and then a lot of action again in the end game. Any mid game fight you take the potential, there's people fighting at that tunnel over here. This player should look to third party that, I think. And that's what I was going to say. Any sort of mid game fight can be easily third partied, like how we saw the Canadian ski skin get a free kill on that other player. That just can happen to you at any time. So any fight you take that takes a decent amount of time is like pretty not great for you. Isn't this player behind him? I'm very confused on what's happening here. I think that like the person in the tunnel set up like a bunch of bunkers or something, but I thought there was somebody by these trees. And with this week's update, EMP grenades were also vaulted in addition to the avatar stuff, and that changes ranked a lot because the airbender was really popular, earthbender was solid, and I think EMPs were also really good because you see these like how useful and how common cars are to be used. The player in the tunnel had EMPs, they could just like completely ruin this player's day. And so if you wanted to be more active in the mid game for competitive zero build, I think EMPs were really good for that. And with them being vaulted, it's hard to just get like really good engages if you're playing really aggro. I wonder if he's gonna run into the Canadian ski skin that we were spectating a moment ago. Water bending is still in, as you saw earlier, but that one stayed because I think it's part of the Korra challenges, and it was in prior to the avatar event pass update anyways. I feel like the camera is like weird on this spectator, like I'm spectating the ground. Fighting going on over there? I think it's a ski skin shooting his burst. What's the zone looking like? This player is going to be a threat. They have Grim Medallion and Siphon Medallion. The only other medallion in play is Ares. Zeus was unobtained. This radio tower is also unobtained, so only one player has forecast in this match. I think this car we're spectating is trying to like see this loot and maybe seeing if there's a way for them to third party that fight easily, if it's an actual fight going on. But you got to be careful if you're trying to third party a fight that's not really a fight. Like if it's just kind of two players trading shots like across the map with ARs or SMGs, that's not as easy of a third party as it is if they're like, you know, on each other with shotguns. Still 30 players up. If you wanted to play for zone here, I think being over here is the ideal spot to be. I think this is going to be dead side of zone because you see how isolated it is from the rest of the map, right? Whereas this side of zone is also the edge, but the rest of the map has to flow into there because that's what's getting cut off. So being around here or being around here, I think would be the more dead side of zone. If the zone was flipped, like if it was a circle down here, then like this edge would be hot. Not sure what this player is doing. He's just gonna drive right on this person, I think, but that leaves him to be an easy third party from the person that was just shooting at this. He switched to the passenger seat. The guy got in. I'm confused. That elite agent just got bodied with snipe. Now they're getting pickaxed. This is where EMPs would be helpful. Is there 4 people in this car? There was 4 people in this car. Now there's only 3. And this is what I was saying when I was saying the gameplay is not very relatable to like what the game normally is. What is going on? He's just gonna sit in the passenger seat here? Okay, he gets a shot. It's gonna be a throw. The Canadian ski skin wins us, I think. They should. Car is weak. So it's another third party. So yeah, I think if you're gonna third party fights in the mid game, you need to be really decisive about it. I think he maybe could have gotten out of his car on that approach and just beamed the player that was spectating or focused on that focus skin, the one who was kind of winning the fight as he pulled up. But instead, he just drove onto the person who was kind of losing the fight and then picked them up in the car. And then I think literally nothing happened. They almost threw versus that ski skin. I think if they fight, that Canadian ski skin will just win. I don't know what's going on here. They do have a white auto shotgun, so it's not the greatest, but I feel like the indecisiveness in that fight kind of cost them. And I think another car just pulled up. Yeah. Okay, this might actually work out well for him. He's going to try to leave, I think. Oh, the ski skin is pushing him. Okay. I thought maybe if the ski skin was actually getting pressured, then maybe he could just like re-third party it if they eventually fight. But the ski skin chose to like push him. And I think that's a good play. So if you're pinched between 2 people, or there's a situation with a lot of people on you, if you just kind of exist in the middle of that, it's rarely going to go your way. So you're going to need to like push one of them out. And he chose to push out the person with the bunkers, which is good because, I mean, if he was aware that it was the same person from earlier, he probably didn't think that person was very good. But also, he has those bunkers for cover. Then he body sniped the other person. Unfortunately, no shockwaves, so he can't really like do anything with that body snipe. What is going on with the Grim player? Oh no, somebody went into Storm and got the Zeus medallion. Okay. I thought the Grim person was behind them in Storm because earlier those were the only 2 medallions that were taken. Again, like I talked about, like this side of zone, imagine if you were here chilling. Like if you wanted to get easy placement, that would be the place to be. And you've seen just how like bizarre and like just chaotic these mid-game fights can be. It's very hard to get an isolated fight. And there's like very good ranged weapons in the game right now with like the sniper, the water bending, the MR, the Wookiee bow. Like it's very easy for someone to third party your fight, and they don't even really got to be that good, you know? Like just hitting a body shot on you with sniper can completely ruin your game. There's bunkers behind him. He seems to think there's somebody in here. I think because the medallion is here. Like, I think this person is camping the medallion. Yeah, I hear footsteps right now. They're like crouch walking though. And so my personal opinion on this is that like, okay, they just got out of a car, I think. But my personal opinion on this is you just leave this person be. If there's people going to be overly ratty camping a building or something, you can win that fight, but it's just going to be weird. And so I would personally want to just leave that person be. And like I'd already talked about with the third parties, maybe you get into like a scuffed fight in this house versus a person ratting. They hit you like 120 over the course of it, and then you just get third partied. Does have these bananas, so he can just easily outweight this person in Storm. And Island is there, so there's going to be rifts and stuff. But overall, I just don't think this is like a worthwhile risk to take. Especially with the pump. I feel like the pump is not the better shotgun for fights like this. The person just takes the medallion and leaves. EMPs would be very good there. Imagine he had EMPs. It was pretty obvious that medallion player is probably camping that room baiting the medallion. You just EMP them and then do a lot of damage. But those are now gone. Gonna take the rep like I talked about. I'm gonna fight Island here. And that person just leaves. So now he has Island, but it's not really that worthwhile in the current zone because you see it's already like far away. The next zone. He's gonna capture this. I'm wondering what he's like wanting to get out of it. Because it does drop heals, but he already has a full fizz, which is great. Maybe he can get shocks out of it, but like based on how he's played thus far, I don't think he wants shocks. Like he could have bought some from Medusa like several times in the early game. This was the same person we were spectating at the start of the match. I wonder if capturing Island helps in ranked, because I know in like certain tournaments you get points from it. But now he can pad the zone or just look for somebody to pad on. He doesn't have dashes though, so he's gonna need to get those from the water at some point. And if he lands on someone here, odds are they probably already have dashes because they've been in this biome. So there's a player dashing in the water there. The car there. Person top Grim right there. He's probably gonna land on that, I think. 92 damage. 50 damage. Like 140 damage total. This should be a kill. Unless that, okay, GG. So I was gonna say, unless that person like gets around that corner and gets a shockwave off or something, that should be a kill. Did they have no shotgun? What the heck? I would really want to, okay, they had a gatekeeper gold. That's perfect. I would really want to get some dashes while I'm here. Like, as soon as possible. Because like I said, I think anybody in this biome is going to have dashes. Imagine that player top Graham. If they had dashes, they maybe could have got away there. Might be able to get a third-party snipe on that. Nice, it's a body. No shockwaves to push. There's shockwaves here, though. Is he going to take them? He drops his fizz for it. Getting third-party Wookiee. Easy body. Imagine he has dashes here. Dash kill, easy. Nice. Just splashes there. He can easily be full health again. And then you could look back on that person that he just sniped, but the thing is that like they're on edge of zone. A lot of people are probably going to be looking back this way. They have medallions. So like I think it's like pretty guaranteed the more emphasis you put on focusing that, the worse it goes. They got kind of lucky they didn't have shockwaves there, I think. Because if they had shockwaves and like were able to third party that fight sooner, I think the person with the Wookiee bowcaster probably gets a better timing to third party them. I'm actually surprised he's not getting shot in the back right now. Somebody in that bush. That's one of the things I really don't like about like shooting to check bushes is a lot of times you'll be like standing out in the open to check a bush. Like people will shoot at the bush to check it. You know, it's pretty common. I've gotten asked why I don't do that a lot. But it's like best case scenario is you hit them and then you're just having an out in the open bloom fight versus a bush player. Like it never made sense to me really. Or I guess maybe you just hit nothing and then you're like that bush is clear. But even then, like I don't know. Especially as a controller player, I never wanted to just be like standing out in the open shooting bushes. I'm gonna go back to zone because that's where it went. A lot of people are probably gonna be focusing him here. Being greedy for a big pot, this could cost them. Yeah. And so he gets that big pot and uses a bit of fizz, but he ends up with less HP than he had before, I think. Gonna have one dash left, no dashes. The guy in that bunker, he's right there. Hitting a headshot snipe on that player would be huge. Oh, it's an NPC. Okay. Yeah, this is rough. That's what I was gonna say. If that, I thought that NPC was the person in the bunker, and I was gonna say it's like huge for them to get that kill, because then they could have the bunker. Now they gotta drop down, they fight the Goku, and then it's GG's. Like, it doesn't matter how good that Canadian ski skin is or how bad this person is. Once he's like little HP end game in a situation where there's already a lot of people focusing him, like it's over at that point. And I think being greedy for heals and kind of rotating a bit too early was like the downfall of that player. It's really tough to say though. A lot of things in game, like you'll have times where you rotate too early and then you completely get away with it, and then times where you get costed because of it. But also if you rotate too late, then like that's also bad. Like timing in-game rotates can be hard, but I think if you're gonna rotate super early like that, you just want to get ahead of zone and not really like force fights with people. But it was kind of a tough situation because everybody else was playing very passive, and that ski skin was the only person really doing anything in zone, so like they just automatically get focused. I don't know the name of this skin. Is it glitch? They're in a good spot, I think. They're low ground here, but if zone pulls back towards Pleasant, then it would have been very nice for them. Doesn't pull back towards Pleasant, but they still have an easy path into zone, and they should be able to get more dashes here. Okay, they're actually already full. For some reason, I thought they didn't have any more. What I was gonna say is if they didn't have any more dashes, they could just like wait until everyone else leaves and then get some. Someone's spamming the Wookiee bowcaster. I think you just late rotate up this hill. He has 2 more bunkers, so he can just dash in and then throw a bunker. There are people fighting though, so maybe he wants to third party that, and I don't think that's bad. Take advantage of this timing because he has bunkers. He gets a bunker for free here, and he should get a free kill. Dash on that and get the kill, I think. 19 white. Nice. 1v1v1. Barry's medallion is there. This person has all the medallions. Okay, that was why they had more dashes. They have a third medallion. One player's right here. Easy kill. Before the bunker even, or before the bubble even gets deployed. Now it's a 1v1. And I don't know where this final player is, but odds are, okay, I was going to say, odds are they weren't in a spot where they could see that other guy. And they're not on a spot where they could have already third-partied him. They were playing low ground and then they shockwaved up. He could throw a bunker at this wall here and it would knock the player out of their bunker because of the way the tires work. This person has airbender, or waterbender, sorry. But if you bunker on somebody's bunker, the tires that are on the front of your bunker will like knock them out. And so I think this person would either get knocked into storm or at least knocked to like the backside of their bunker, which would, okay, I would do it right now. We'll see if he's gonna do it. Oh, he throws up so he can get height on him. That works too. GG's. But if you are bunker fighting people, bunkering on their bunker and knocking them back makes it like really easy to push them. If you play like the zero build 2v2 realistics map, you can get like a lot of practice doing that. And the reason why I wanted him to go for that so badly was because I thought there was potential it would just knock that shark into storm, or at the very least knock them back to the point where this player could walk up and then just easily get the kill. But that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys found this helpful, informative, interesting. It was kind of not what I imagined. The end game, or sorry, the early game was more boring than I'd hoped, and then the mid game was kind of how I expected things to be. But if you guys enjoyed this, found it helpful, informative, interesting, remember, give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.